Everything you need to know about Carb Manager coming up next.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to the channel. I have the highly requested Carb Manager video, how to Carb Manager 101. I use Carb Manager. There are a lot of different apps you can use, MyFitnessPal, all kinds of things that you can download, and I highly recommend any of the ones that are user-friendly for free. Carb Manager is the one I've been using since 2019. That's the one I'm gonna share with y'all. I find that it's really user-friendly. There's lots of information already plugged in there. And again, it is F-R-E-E. So let's get into how to use this amazing app to keep you on track no matter what health journey you're on. All right, so Carb Manager, here's the app right here. You can download it to your phone. I do have a Samsung Galaxy. I'm all about that Android life, and I know a lot of people are not. I'm gonna have a lot of pop-ups I know throughout the video, so just kind of ignore that. But this is my macros for today. So when looking at this is telling me how many carbs I consumed. I have mine set to 20 net carbs per day. I have 157 grams of fat as my goal, 125 protein, and 1,996 calories per day. So you can see I hit my goals as far as getting close to them, and I was under 20 net carbs. Now, I will say before we get into how you use Carb Manager, a lot of people have messaged me on Instagram and asked me if you have to meet these goals each day to be in ketosis or to see results. Absolutely not. You can go under this, as you can see with my protein and my calories, just a little bit, or you can go over it and you're still gonna see progress. This is the main thing if you're doing keto anyway. If you're under 20 net carbs, all the other stuff in the beginning isn't going to be the biggest factor. Do we need to be concerned about those other things and monitor them? In my opinion, absolutely. But to get into ketosis, you just need to be under 20 net carbs, and that is it, y'all. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go to the very screen where we have all the different things that we can set, and I'm gonna go to settings down here, and I want y'all to do this too. If you are new to Carb Manager, wanna set it up, or you just don't know what the heck you're doing with it. So at the top, we have settings, we have my profile, macros, diet goals, health goals. You can go on and on. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even dealt with, so this is just gonna be the basics of Carb Manager and a couple of new things I've found here recently on how to make your life easier with it. So for settings, you can put all kinds of things on here as what you wanted to track and stuff. I don't have anything clicked on here except for carbs to track net carbs. So if you're doing keto, you want to click that. You can do either total carbs. I know some of y'all like to do total carbs on keto, or they have a diabetes carbs as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm doing net carbs here, and then I'm gonna go to my profile. So y'all go to my profile at this point. You're gonna put in all your personal information so y'all can see how old I am. I am 5'6". I get a lot of questions on how tall I am. So before I started my keto cut here recently for January 2020, I was 141. Current weight, I've been fluctuating between 138 and 139, so you can put that in. And your activity level. So it's going to say down here either you're not active, lightly active, moderate, very active, and extra active. And as you can see for moderate, it even tells you down here what that means. So for me, I'm trying to be truthful here. So I don't exercise, but maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So I would be considered moderately active. After you get done putting all that information in my profile, then you want to go to your macros calculator. So when you go to your macros calculator, you want to set a calories goal based on whether you want to lose weight, maintain, or build muscle. I have changed this for myself 3 times. So when I lost the initial weight in 2019, when I built muscle over the summer, and now doing this keto cut. So right now I have it set to lose weight at 3%. You can move this bar over and under. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to mess with mine right now. But I did it to where mine came down here where it says calorie goals 1,996, and y'all see right here where it says 0.5 pounds lost per month. So whatever your goal is, if you want to lose 3 pounds per month, that's kind of crazy. But if you want to set a certain goal, you can move this bar around, and whatever the number pops up that you want, leave it at that percentage for either your calories deficit, or if you want to build muscle, how much you want to gain per month. That's what you want to look at here at the bottom. Then it says we're going to calculate our macronutrients. So I have it set to net carbs, and I also have it set to keto. So if we click on this here, y'all can see that we have high protein keto, low carb, high fat. So if you're not doing keto but low carb, no carb or carnivore, they've got everything that you could want already preset in here for you. You're gonna click whatever preset pertains to you, and it's gonna pop up that goes with your goal up here that you set earlier. Okay, so it's gonna calculate your net carbs, which it says 25 because I just clicked it, but I changed mine to 20. So you can actually manually change it as you see there. So that's what I've done. And then there's my protein and my fat that it's set. And then you're gonna click apply to my macros, and for every day that you track. So apply to macros, goals applied. So now you're good to go. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to go back on these 3 lines here, and I'm gonna go to where it says my daily log. So usually it will pop up blank. So let me get one that will be blank. So for Thursday, I've already tracked food for tomorrow. I know I'm crazy. But Thursday, it will be blank. So this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna have your goals for each day there, but everything should be 0 until you start adding stuff to your Carb Manager. So if you want, guys, you can click on these lines to the side here, and that's going to get you all these things that pop up as well. So it's gonna say add food, add insulin, voice log, all this other stuff. I always just click add food. And then they have a really cool search bar here. So you can click search and you can type in anything that you want. So I'm gonna type in perfect keto, and you can see stuff's gonna start popping up. So there we go, perfect keto cinnamon roll bar. I'm gonna click that, and it's going to pop up what it is. Now I've had a lot of questions. Nicole, I have put in a certain item and it says it has 6 carbs, and if I look at the label, it really only has 2. A lot of these things in Carb Manager are preset by users. So yes, you can put anything in Carb Manager, and there's an option if you want to share it with the rest of the world to be able to see using this Carb Manager. So keep that in mind. What you're going to do is look at it, check it, and make sure that it matches your label. And then if it is, you're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that that matches the cinnamon roll bar because I don't have one in front of me, and I'm going to add that. So it's going to come back to the search screen where you were, but I'm gonna go up here, and now it's gonna show that I added that for breakfast because I clicked the little bars right here next to breakfast. That's why I added it to there. If I wanted to add it to lunch, I'm gonna click these 3 little dots here. So now it's there. It tells me how much fat is in there, blah, blah, blah. So I can continue to add more stuff to breakfast if I want to. And then you can do lunch, dinner. There even is a spot for snacks. You can add your supplements, your exercise if you want. I only just add my food, and that's it. I do want to show y'all a trick here, which is pretty cool. So if I want to eat the same exact thing on the next day, instead of going back and searching it again or entering it manually, I can go up here, click these 3 bars right here where it says breakfast. We're gonna go to copy to, and I'm going to go to Friday the 10th. I'm gonna go to set, go to breakfast, and go over to Friday. And now it's there and set for Friday, and I didn't have to manually enter it in. So if you eat a lot of things multiple times, especially the same foods like I do, that's nice to just be able to click that real quick and save a lot of time. Another thing I want to show you guys is if we go to the 3 dots again and we go to add foods up here, and we want to add foods, they also have a couple different options. They have quick find, my foods. So if we go to quick find up here, these are going to be all the things that we have searched for or that we have used. So these are all my favorites. I'll show you how to save something to your favorites. So that way, if it's something you use on a daily, you can always go to your favorites and just click it right there. So as you can see, I have a lot of stuff that I have stored in my favorites from things in the past that I wanted to make sure I didn't lose. That keto lady, where you at? And I've got a lot of Southern keto stuff already plugged in here, all my lollies, granola. So those are all my favorite things that I know I'm gonna use on a continual basis. If I go to my foods, that's exactly what you just saw. But if I wanna make something new, I can go to this bar that says custom right here. And then it says create custom food. And then you can name it. You can also put your serving size on there, so a cup, etc. And then you can put your calories, total or net carbs there, and enter everything manually, guys. And then it's gonna ask you to save it here at the top. And that's how you make your own custom food. So like these 90-second McGriddles and things like that, that's all something custom that I made and plugged in here. And now it's my favorites to be able to go and find it. So I highly suggest y'all doing that, especially if you are going to search. And let's pretend like we clicked on perfect keto cinnamon roll bar and none of the options that were preset we're matching our product, we can enter our own. I had to do that a couple of times this past weekend. So you can always enter your own stuff and not just rely on the preset stuff. A lot of the preset stuff, guys, is like fudged a little bit to go up in carbs too. So if it's really fudged, make sure you just enter your own with the exact macros that are on the label. And that way it'll be the exact macros going in your body when you plug it into your Carb Manager. So I also had a lot of questions on how do I calculate macros for a meal if I'm trying to figure out how many carbs and fat are in a specific meal and it's not provided for me. So this is what I do. I'm gonna be honest, it is time consuming, but I go through with my Carb Manager. If I'm not using the labels itself, and if I don't have a label in front of myself, like Kerrygold butter, I can type it in, pull it up, and it's going to tell me how many grams of fat a tablespoon has and calories. And then depending on how many I use for my recipe, I actually jot that down on a piece of paper. And then at the end, once I do this for each individual ingredient, I'll add up all my calories, all my fat, my protein, and my net carbs and divide it by the portion sizes. And that's how I calculate carbs and macros for recipes that aren't provided for me. Just know that it's time consuming, but it's worth it, especially if you're doing recipes and the macros are not provided for you. So guys, that is pretty much Carb Manager 101. It is super easy and I cannot recommend it highly enough. So like this is all my recently viewed stuff. So you can also go back and look at all the stuff that you recently looked up and you can go ahead and click it again if it's not saved in your favorites, or from this point, I can view it. And then if you want to know how to save something that's already preset in your favorites, you click this little I up here, and I keep saying I, you know what I mean, 3 little dots. And you're going to add it to favorites or copy to my foods. Either one will get it to a folder where you can do it over and over again. Also, if you click this little 3 dots, it will either have it look like this where it's 1 tablespoon and you manually go into and enter the number that you want. I like doing it this way versus this because this is what Carb Manager is going to do as a default for you guys. It's going to have the 3 dots and it's going to give you this picker wheel mode, which I do not like because you have to scroll and then you have to scroll for this. And if you have a lot of grams going on, like sometimes you'll weigh your food and the grams are like hella crazy, then you have to scroll forever and a day and they're not even preset. So I recommend that y'all do the 3 dots and go to the keyboard entry mode. And that way you can manually enter that and then change your grams and stuff this way. I just think it's more eye appealing to me and it's more user friendly and it doesn't waste as much time than scrolling through a wheel thing. You can just enter it and be on your merry way. Like I like it much better than that and I actually just discovered that. So there's lots of things that you can discover on here. In the comments below, y'all leave any tips and tricks that you have for Carb Manager as well to make everybody's life easy and get as much as they can from this app. And there is going to be a premium version that's going to pop up every time you log in. That's going to say, do you want to upgrade for however much? Always click out of it. You don't need it. I've been doing this for over a year now and it's been getting me where I need to be. So that is Carb Manager 101 basically. I hope that wasn't confusing. I know that was a lot of information thrown at you, especially if you are just downloading the app and you're trying to get with it. But just pause the video, y'all, for each different part. And as you're watching the video on your app, do the same thing that I was doing on my phone. It will get you there. Put everything in your favorites, save custom recipes and custom ingredients for certain products that aren't put into Carb Manager correctly. Don't get discouraged if you pull up a food and you thought that it was less carbs and it comes up as more. Sometimes, like I said, things are plugged in there wrong and it is definitely deceiving. So don't let that bother you. If you ever have any questions, y'all, please follow me on Instagram because I will answer your questions very quickly over there through a DM. So if you are just tackling Carb Manager and you are frustrated and you want to throw your phone out the door, do not do that. Send me an Instagram message over there and I will help you through. Leave comments down below as well and I'll get to those too. And like I said, if anybody is fluent in Carb Manager and you have other tips and tricks that you want to share with everybody to help them on their health journey, please comment down below. If you enjoyed this video or if this video was helpful, please give it a huge thumbs up. And if you know somebody that needs this information in their life, give it a huge share with them. That helps the video so much. If you're not subscribed and you want to stick around to see what I've got for 2020, please hit that red subscribe button down below and make sure all your notifications are clicked so you do not miss a future upload from me. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all have an amazing day. Go and get that Carb Manager app on. Go get it going. plug in all that food, get yourself on track, and let's get to 2020 on whatever health journey we're on. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.